Let's look at how to get started on this recreation center drawing. Now, as you have noticed, I've given you a title block that's already set up, and it's got a property boundary on it, and it's got a road and a sidewalk and a building footprint. And it's got some layers set up. Let's look at our drawing here. So on this set of PDFs that I've given you, you will see several different objects. There's a track and a pole vault thing going around a football field. There's a standard size baseball field, and there's some other stuff down here, some tennis courts, and two different parking lots, and a squiggly path and a gazebo. So right now, let's just look at how to get started on the track and the baseball field. And you'll notice that what we have are mostly lines and circles, so that's something to be aware of. You'll notice that we could probably use offset to get some of these major lines located. And you will also notice that this is a big drawing. So it is 667 feet over to the start of the track, and it's another, 557, and it's another 592 feet wide. So this is a big old commercial site. And I just want to say, this site will take you some time, so it's not due for a long time. Just keep chipping away at it as you go. In your drawing, let's think about what layer we want to put this stuff on. In your drawing here, you'll notice that we have different layer names than we have in some of our other architectural sheets. And there are a couple of down here that start with L for landscape, and then some that start with C for civil. Now, we want this L Site Sport layer for our track, and here's why. Remember our spreadsheet where we looked up, the very first week we could look up official National CAD standard layer names. Here is the discipline L for landscape. Now let's go to major group layers. Here is site, which stands for site features. So we got L-site. And then in the minor group, here is SPRT, the layer for sports fields. So we've got L-site sport. And that's the name of our layer that we're going to use for our track and field stuff, L-site sport. All right, now the way these PDFs are set up, you have some locating dimensions on sheet 1 here, and notice this is sheet L1. So here are some primary locating dimensions, and there are two detail bubbles. One on the track tells you you're going to find more about the track on sheet L2. And then on the baseball field, it tells you you're going to find more about the baseball field on sheet L2. So when you go to those sheets, that sheet, you find, yes, here are some more dimensions for drawing the track. And here are some more dimensions for drawing the baseball field. And I will just say that these are official dimensions. I looked them up in a handbook. So these are official dimensions for a track and a football field. There are several standard sizes for baseball fields. I think this is regulation college size, if I remember right. All right, so let's go back and see how we can maybe do our track here. It looks like we're going to offset 182 feet down. Let me go to model space. So 182 feet down from our top line, that's where our track starts. Now I'm on the L-Site Sport layer, and now I'm going to offset. What is it saying? Specify distance. Okay. 182 foot mark. I don't need to tell it 0. Enter. Select object to offset. Okay, I will. Click. And side to offset down here. Hey, wait a minute. This is not on the L-Site Sport layer. That's right. This is a copy of this line that we clicked from. So let us just click on our new line, and we'll go up here and select the layer we want it to be on, L-Site Sport, and now it's on the right layer. Okay, now let's offset another 268 feet down from that. So offset, I like to type O for offset, and what is it? 268 foot mark. Enter. Select object, select side. Okay, there's the boundaries of our track. Now we'll go side to side here. It's 557 feet 2 inches to the start of our track. So O for offset, 557 foot mark. 2, I don't need to enter the inches because inches is the default. So 557 feet 2, enter. Select object, there it is. Side to offset, I'm going to the left. And now I'm going to select that line that's on the wrong layer. Drop down my layer list and pick the Site Sports Fields layer. Okay, and now I want to go another 592 feet. So offset, 592 feet, enter, and there it is. Oops, 592 feet, select object, select side. There we go. Okay, now let's find where our center of our circle things are. And for that, we're going to need to go to our detail sheet, where we see that, yep, this outer circle is a radius of 134, or a diameter of 268. And luckily for us, what do you call it, this feed-in line to the track lines up with the end of our circular arc. So from here we can offset 134 feet on each side. Offset 134 feet. Enter. Select object, side to offset. Now I'm going to come over here and select, while I'm still in the command, select this object to offset and come in here. And you know what? I can also select one of these outer lines, select object, and come down to make the center of my circle. Now I'm going to get a circle command. And I like to type C, enter, but you could push that icon. There's the one center of the circle at the intersection. And there's the outer edge of the circle. Now I'll make another circle. And it already knows that I did the previous one at 134 foot radius, so if I want to, I could just click enter and it'll put in another circle of the same size. And now I could trim. Here's the trim command up here, or TR for trim. Now if I just hit enter, it's going to select all my lines as the cutting edges. I would like to be more judicious this time, so I'm going to select objects. I'm just going to select this line and this line as my cutters. Enter. And now I'll click that circle and that circle. Looky there, so we're beginning to lay out our track. And now we can use offset and make our track 28 feet offset in from all sides. Before we run out of time, though, I want to say something about the baseball field. So let's do our offset. We're 418 feet 6. 418 feet 6 from this side, and we're 365 feet up from the road. 365 feet, enter, up from the road. So there is where our baseball field is going to be. And our baseball field has a radius of 330 feet. Okay, so circle radius 330 feet. Enter. And now we can trim our circle. So there's the start of our baseball field. What I want to say is watch out for these, the mounds and the bases. For example, this right here is a diameter of 26 feet. All right. So I'm going to come down here to the start of my baseball field, center. Watch what happens if I just type 26 feet right now. 26 feet. That's not the right size. That is too big. This says a diameter of 26 feet, and I just typed a radius of 6 feet, and that's going to be too big. So when I enter my circle, I need to read the directions. It says specify radius, okay, or D for diameter. Well, I could go D, enter, for diameter, and 26 feet. There. See how that circle is smaller? Okay, that gets us started on these things. So same idea for the 3 bases in the baseball field. Make sure you pay attention to which is radius or diameter. And I'll come back in a little bit and we will talk about the tennis courts and the parking lots.